All right. Maybe it's working now. Maybe it's not. Kind of got here late, guys. So we shall see what is going on here. I don't know. Am I still online? Yeah, I still am. Let's see if we can do this. Am I still online? Yeah, I still am. Yeah, I'll try number 3. Yeah, I need to, Mark. Do this. I feel like a number 3 right now. Still online. Yeah, I still am. Okay. This is real late today. Yeah, I need to, Mark. Do this. I feel like a number 3 right now. Online. Okay. Yeah, I still am. Let's mute that part. Hey, not much, Whiskey friend. I have meant to start it at 5:30, but I had a late lunch with my daughter, and she kind of comes first. So we'll have to do it kind of on the fly today. I'll cover up the screen so they can't see that. And what I got here today is well, I need to see before we get started if you guys can actually see here. But I had to go to the store, take care of some business, got home. I didn't have time. I'm doing a lot of my accounting on the kitchen table instead of on my desk where I should be, but I kind of got it all spread out, so we're doing it outside today. They quit mowing back over there, which was a really good help for all this. So we got green to green, pink to pink. Let's go ahead and get them poured. I didn't bring out my little thing. I'll just have to be honor system today without my little eye cover. What we have here, though, is a Glenfiddich single malt distiller edition, what I talked about last week's show. It's 102 proof. It's a 15-year-old. I paid right around $60 for it, I think it was. It says non-chill filtered. It doesn't really say anything about color. It is 51% alcohol by volume. And for 15-year-old, it's kind of an old stock. You don't see it much laying around anymore, so it's a pretty interesting dram to have around. And then this is fairly new release, the Glengrant. We've seen it for, I don't know. I've seen it for about a year now or so around, maybe not quite a full year. And it's the closest thing I've got. Oh my, this isn't going to work. So we're not going to do it blind today. There's no way we can do it blind because I can see the color on both of these, and the Glengrant is much lighter than the Glenfiddich, as we can tell. So we can just get rid of the carousel altogether. We can just forget about the dots. What I propose to do is, toward the end of this live stream, and I'm only going to go about 30 minutes because I know my bourbon journey goes on afterwards, so I don't want to crowd into his time since I got such a late start. But this is 102 proof. This is closest thing I had, which is 50%, which is 100 proof. So we're talking kind of both exclusives, batch strength versus distillery edition. They are both, I think, a combination of bourbon and sherry casks. I'm pretty sure that's the case with the Glengrant. Let me see. May not even say on here. Their distiller, Scotland, blah, 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 blah. Specially matured and hand-selected first fill ex-bourbon casks. So no, it's just first fill ex-bourbon casks. And I know the Glenfiddich is bringing in a combination. So this really is not even going to be a fair comparison in some ways. other than 15 years in American and European oak, including rare Oloroso sherry casks. It's non-chill filtered for a smoother mouthfeel. So we do have a combination of casks here, and that's strictly bourbon casks. So it would kind of been really a moot point in a way to do a direct comparison. So we're not even going to piddle with this crap. But what I will do is I'll try to ask a question. The first one to get it right toward the end of the cast, you know, I will try to get you a sample of the Glenfiddich 102 out to you. Oh, Glenfiddich is bringing that pear green apple note to it. Really good. Oh, man. So this is very fruity. This is not fruity at all. And I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's a little bit of fruit in this Glengrant. Let me, I can't. It's bright out here and seeing everything is tough. Midnight here. Oh, you're up late, whiskey friend. Hey, Robert, sounds like a good comparison. It would be if they were the same. I thought they were, and I kind of got ahead of myself. No green grass to mow in Wisconsin yet. Hey, we're supposed to get I get called out tomorrow, and we're supposed to have a snowstorm tomorrow out in western Kansas where I'm going. But I don't think they're going to be, they're saying blizzard, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. We get occasional snow every 10, 15 years this time of year, but it's pretty rare. Yeah, Beacon, hey, fella. So everybody kind of talking. This is not the Solera. No, this is not the Solera cask at all on this one. This is, like I said, it's a distillery edition. It's kind of on its own. I think it was produced, and I'm not sure if I can read the dates on the back of this one. It's really not dated up. It was kind of an odder code that I really didn't understand. I think maybe, and this is a big maybe, and I must emphasize that. I think it's a 2013 or 2014 bottling, but I could be wrong. It may be even later than that, but I think as old as it could be is like 2013, 2014. It might be a couple of years after that point. And it's really kind of, there's a place that I found, they had 4 of them, I think, on the shelf. And I bought one, and I've been meaning to go back and buy the other, but, you know, those funds always get allocated other places. So it's hard to go back and get, but this is really tasty stuff. This is too. This is really good too. Anyway, we're not going to really be able to do a side-by-side comparison because there's too much of a difference between them, and it's more than just color. Extremely fruity, extremely vanilla and malty. I mean, that's just straight up front. That's what you're getting between the two. And now, guys, I'm only going to run this till about 6:30, and then I'm going to get off here. So, but each is very good. That ABV is really. This is better than the Solera. I've already had it. I've had the Solera. I've never done a review on it. That was back before I used to do reviews and stuff. I've had the Solera. I liked the Solera. I thought it was a good whiskey. It's one of the first, if not, I think, the first. Can't remember if Bowmore 15 or if Glenfiddich 15. I think the Glenfiddich 15 was the very first single malt Scotch I bought, and the Solera cask one. And then I think the next one was the Bowmore 15. I bought them kind of right quick side by side. We're talking a few years ago, and I don't exactly remember which one. I do remember it was the Glenfiddich. Now that I think about it, because I had my wife with me, and I remember the triangular bottle. But this is a much different animal. I like that. The Glenfiddich 12 is, you know, it is what it is, kind of whiskey. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just, it's a good basic introductory whiskey. This is much better than that. it has a lot more flavor. We'll get into that in just a second. Let me see here. Hey Keith, how you doing? Glenfiddich is unchill filtered. Yes, this one is. Yeah, snow here tomorrow too. Yeah, I bet so up there, Mark. Malted and man cave cheers. Oklahoma kid. Recommend me a soft fruity scotch. I tried Aberfeldy and it wasn't bad. I can't stand scotch, but want to try something mild for a bourbon drinker like me. Glenmorangie G10. That's your best. So far, that's been my best choice for crossover scotch to bourbon, because every Glenmorangie, I've had two Glenmorangie G10s, and both of them have so many bourbon notes in them that it just ties real easy over into there. And you still got, you're not going to have a very it's not like getting a PD bomb or a super sherry thing or something like that. And when you do the Glenmorangie G10, if you choose that route, do this too. When you start it, add a good teaspoon of water when you start with it, and work your way, add a less and less with each dram. And don't try to get it all one night. And just because it tastes awkward maybe the first night, let it sit, let you think about it, let it sit in that bottle a little longer. The next day, add a little less water and a little less water, and pretty soon I think you will be able to branch out from there to something else. But that's my suggestion. And these guys are going to give you suggestions too, and these guys know their stuff too, and we all have a different journey or path we started this on. So there's some good advice on what these guys can tell you. Some of them much more knowledgeable than I am on this subject. Yeah, Glen Cadam 10. Never had that one, so that's you have to do that one too. Una 12 is a good one. That's DJ. Yeah, DJ. That's a good choice too. Glendronach 12. Yeah, well, Glendronach 12 is going to bring. If I'm thinking right, it's a very heavily sherried. You're not gonna find a lot of the bourbon notes in that Glendronach 12. I've only ever had a sample of it, so I can't speak to thing. But if I remember correctly, and what I read, it was very heavily sherried, if not complete sherry maturation. So you're going to lose some of those vanilla and caramel components that some of the better choices for highlands are going to bring along with it. So anyway, well, let's just start with the right hand first. They hold each other's hand. You're getting the vanillas, light caramels, a little bit of that cedar wood note sort of play on it. Sometimes it comes across as metallic. It's a real fine line. And sometimes it's more like cedar wood. And by cedar wood, I didn't chew. When I built a cedar chest in high school wood shop. When you'd sand it and all that cedar dust to get in there, you inevitably get a taste of it. It's kind of like that. That's a good way to describe it. But then it breaks off, and it's not complete stone fruits. You got a little bit of peaches in there. You got some plums in there, and you got some. Whereas pears come across in the nose, you get just a slightly bit more darker fruits on the palate with this. And you still get the pear, but that pear and that peach and that fruitiness is still there. But with the vanilla system, there's typical one fine. It is worth the price. It's nothing at all like the Solera cask or even the 18 or the 12. Nothing at all. This monster is on its own, and it's monster's a poor choice of words. This whiskey stands apart from those. If you can amplify those with that ABV, you're getting so much more mouthfeel and taste with this one. This is really a good dram. I mean, I really enjoy this. I called Scott when I was in the store, Scotch Test Dummies. Asked him if he wanted me to pick him up one. He said, nah. His loss. I'll make it back up there. Whew, that sun is it right in my eye. I didn't think about this too much. I hope my because I am a little distance from the router. I hope my microphone's not wonking out or acting weird. So let me see if I can catch up. That's production midstream area. That's not something I know about. Yeah. Yeah, it might go in and out. My neighbor's having problems. She had the guys out here fixing her stuff, and I think there's something going on in the neighborhood. So if I come and go, I'm sorry about that. Stream dropped for a minute, but good now. Okay, good. All right, let's do the Glengrant. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This one is bringing the vanillas all in the nose, slight caramel notes. There's some cinnamon in there. A good malty, grassy note coming across. But it ain't, it's a good, really good, very even tempered. It's not a, sometimes that grassy note becomes very overwhelming or very dominating. This one is working. This, the 15 years is showing. This one's starting to work, you know, in concert with the oak, because there's a little oak in there too on the nose. What you have, you know, if you, it's been my case, you know, sometimes you have to, it's a balance. The older a whiskey gets, the more the oak becomes dominant. And sometimes oak can really be overbearing. Bourbons. Scotch is not so much, because it all depends on first fill, second fill, third fill casks, aging, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things go into the more factoring into what the cask influence is on the alcohol goes into that. More so than bourbon, because bourbon's all first fill. So you can't do cask manipulation. You can't put a half a dozen third fill casks, 2 dozen first fill casks, and whatever your balance is in second fill casks, you know, and find that balance between all three that makes it work. Like in this case. In this case, I think they used all first fill. Let me read that again one more time. I can remember. Yep, this one is all first fill casks. I don't think large part of the time they're not. This one is all first fill casks. So that's good. Anyway, let's get to tasting, because you guys have heard me babble on long enough. Multi vanilla is your main 2 notes going on here. A little cinnamon spice in it. A little honey. There's honey sweetness to this one. This is first edition, by the way. A little bit more stingy on the palate than this one. The spicy cinnamons come up front with the honey. Of course, that malty, grassy, that malty. I mean, the nose is really, the palate's really following the nose on this one. The nose is telling you what you're going to get, and the palate is delivering what you. Oh my! The finish. This one is bringing more flavors, overall spectrum of flavors. The finish on this is excellent. I mean, this is an excellent finish. It just lingers. And it's still lingering on the back of my tongue. And it's such a subtle, now it's very subtle multi-vanilla note. I mean, it's just laying there like a blanket. It's almost a tropical fruit to it. I swear I get a little mango. It could be because I had mangoes the other day, about a week ago. No, it was not a week ago, last Thursday night. I had a mango. I hadn't had one in a long time. And I'm getting that with this. Oh my. I'm telling you guys, the finish on this one, for me, is a winner chicken damn dinner. They put this one together. They're both very good whiskeys. I mean, they're both very good whiskeys in their own right. This one's coming across more of the highland character. This one's giving you a typical Speyside character. The nose on this one is good. The palate is a little better. Then the finish is extremely satisfying. Even though it's not a real fair comparison, I'm going to go ahead and give you my thoughts on which one I like the best out of the two, because they're very different. You're talking two very different styles of whiskey. But I think you guys probably know by my reaction, the finish on this one is a winner. It really and truly is. This one, the finish on this one makes it just a couple points better than this one, but it's that much better than this one. And this one's good. This one's the best Glenfiddich I've had to date. I've only had the 12, 15, and 18, so I can't speak to the 21 or anything like that. But this is better than the 3 standards you get easily. Dang, that is. Every time I have that, I'm impressed. I think I paid $72 for that bottle, and it was worth every dollar. Every dollar. If you can get it for that, I'd go buy it, guys. All right, I don't know what to ask for. Where are we at here? Well, we're at 6:21. We got a few more minutes. Let me see what's going on in here. Chat, let me scroll back up just a little bit, see what I missed, guys. Well, lots went past since then. Still the Glen lost me. Yeah, back now. I hope I'm still there. Stream dropped for a minute, but good now. Macallan Classic Cut now. That's a good choice. I've never actually had it, but I know it's a good choice because I had the original Macallan. cast strength several years ago, and I only had they had the bottle at a party I attended, and I think I went back for 2 or 3 before that night was done. That is some extremely good stuff. That would have been 3, maybe 4 years ago now. It's been a while back. Enjoying don't smoke, but Distiller's Cut's a good choice. It really and truly is. Cadam 10, 60, 55, 60. Yeah, that sounds about right. I've never seen it, so I can't speak to the price of it myself. These guys will know more about it here. Like 46% in the price. Looks like the Glengrant 15 is about 80 to 85 here. Well, I would get it for 80 to 85. I wouldn't let that stop me. If you like a Highland, if you're not just strictly a Speyside or Isle or whatever, and you like a good Highland, this is giving you, this says Rothus Speyside on it, but this comes across as 100% just that Highland experience. When I think of Speyside, I think of dark fruits and sherry. This one comes across more like a Highland. Much better. I have a Tom and Towel 14, 46% down in the basement. And that is, I didn't pay very much for it. I don't remember. I think it was around 60 bucks. 62, something like that at Total Wine in Dallas. And very average, to me, a very average Scotch, Highland Scotch. This is not that. Looks like the purple pink dot transferred to your arm probably did. Yeah. Yeehaw. I'm on a store pick of Russell's Reserve. There's another good one. But I haven't seen a store pick. All right, guys. Let's have some sort of, I promised a sample of this. So let's have a quick quiz. What would be a good question to ask you guys? That's not very obvious. Oh, that's a tough one because I don't really think about these kind of things very much. When I did the review on the Chisholm Trail, which whiskey was I drinking? The first one that can tell me in the chat which one that is, I'll go ahead and get to you a sample of this. You'll have to email me and give me your address. But let's do that. It's not too long ago. It was in the last, I think it was back around the first of the year, last January, somewhere in there. Thanks when I put that out. But I was on the Chisholm Trail in Kansas. Here, well, actually, I was on the Kansas-Oklahoma line, and I was drinking a whiskey. And if you can tell me which whiskey that was, and if you have to go look, obviously go look. I will go ahead and get that back to you. I think I used to go down to Specs liquor store. I don't think I've ever been to a Specs. I've just been to the others. A good one. Specs, okay. Sounds like a good one. Then I go back to this. The dark fruits, the fruitiness that's riding along with this one. It's such a different aspect. It's fun how they can play off each other. It really and truly is. Let's have some fun. Let's do some heresy. That don't bother me. You only live once. How do you know what you're going to get if you don't try? About equal portions of each. They're all within 1 percentage point of each other, 50 and 51. Give them a chance to come commingle a little bit. Hmm. Oh, you're getting a dark honeyed vanilla now. You're getting a rich honeyed vanilla. You lose all the light fruits. Just the dark fruits are coming through, plums. Well, it's still bringing that peach note. Now, peach is a lighter fruit. Still got that peach nut plum, but man, dark honey vanilla. It's like you take honey and you mix some vanilla and you whip it together and age it for a little while. And the malty note turns sweet, almost buttery. Wow. It is amazing how much they both commingle in what they do. Man, that is. That is actually. That is actually got it. There is something there I can't put my that's coming forth that I can't quite come up with, but it's there. It's and it's a very good rich note that I just can't put a name to it. Cola. There is a cola note in this. Nose is better than the palate. Palates are very rich. The little sting I got with the Glengrant, totally gone. The fruitiness is all turned dark, and it's sweet and malty and honeyed. Oh, man. Huh. You're right. It was the Texas Gold. Oklahoma Kid. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it was Texas Gold. All right. What I need you to do is send me an email. I don't know if you have it or not. I can't remember if you've got it or not. I'll go ahead and put it up real quick, and then I'm going to delete it off of here. Give me just a second. All right. That's my email. If you got a chance to write it down, do so. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do it, and then send me an email with your address, and I will put that in the mail to you. I got to probably go out on a well tomorrow on a job, so if I don't get it out tonight, it will be first thing. Well, obviously, I'm going to get it out tonight, but if I don't get it out tomorrow, because I got a meeting in the morning too, depending on when I get my call out. I will be the very first day when I get home from the well next week. But I get it to you. I promise I will. So, hey, Trini and C. All right. I'll go ahead and remove that then. I removed the wrong dang comment. I'm sorry about that, DJ Beacon. I got two. I can't put it back up either. Shoot. It's just like me. I got a little too happy. I still don't think I've removed it. Have I, guys? I don't know. Anyway, you're welcome, and I'm glad. Which one do I got? Do I got the boy in Indonesia? Do I got C? I get you two confused. C is in Indonesia. I don't, or was. I don't know which one of you guys I got. Okay, it's from Trini. I'm sorry. Trini from Bali. See, I even got that confused too. Oh, it is C. That's what I thought. Trini is in Bali. Okay. Oh, anyway, if you get a chance to blend Glengrant and Glenfiddich, two 15-year-olds, gives a very good, unique result. I think around do more crazy stuff like that nowadays. It's fun. This one actually works just straight off the cuff. 50-50. Well, I hate to cut it all too short here, guys, but my bourbon journey is going to go on here in a little bit, or he usually does after I get off here. So I need to go ahead and get off here, get everything picked up. Try not to take any of his time up. That whiskey is kicking in. Not yet, man. Not yet. Crush it. That's as much crushing as I want to do tonight. I still got some more accounting to do after this dials down. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here so we can go watch my bourbon journey. I enjoy Scott's show. He's a good guy. Sign off like always. Remember, the spirit in the glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip it, and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Moderation's key. Everyone have a good afternoon or evening as it is right now. See you later. Now, can I figure out how to shut it off?